I would like to show you how to use a JSON file as a data set. So usually in real cases we have CSV files, we have Excel files, and JSON files are also types of files that we would use as a data set in real world cases. So as you can see on the left side I am using VS Code. On the right side I have a JSON file open. I'm using a huge JSON viewer. I think it's free to use, so you can go ahead and download it. It's really good software to open and see information inside the JSON file. Even with huge files, it works perfectly good. So as you can see on the right side, this JSON file has only two entities or two objects. First one is companies, and the second one is called success, which is a boolean, and we don't have any details about it. So the only thing that we are caring about is the companies, and we have 142 entities inside these companies. And if I as you can see in here, we have too many entities in here, and each one has some, let's say, titles. So we have information about company ID, company itself, created at, so the date or time that this company is created, this email address, jobs, number of jobs, and last updated time. Yeah, that's what we currently have. And if you go to the second one, for example, we have the same thing. So we have different entities under company, and each one has information about ID, company created, at, email, jobs, and all the titles that we can see in here. So we can consider this as a table, right, with these titles. So these are the columns of the table, and we have, these are the information that we want to put it under these columns. And that's how we want to go ahead and create a data frame or table like that. So I'm using Python in here. So the only, let's say the only library that I'm going to use in here is pandas. So import pandas as pd, and then I'm going to run it. So first thing is to read the data frame. So I'm going to call it data frame, and pandas has a read. As you can see in here, it reads many different types of the data, but it also reads JSON. So we have the JSON file open in here. It's located in this location. I will just go ahead and copy the address from the address bar. And as you might know from my previous videos, the best way to address it is to use R in first and quotation marks and put the address in between, and then we need also, of course, the name of the file with the format. So a space companies.json. The whole thing is necessary in here, so that's what we need to see the file. I'm gonna go ahead and run this. So first, in first glance, when you open this, you see we have two columns as it's described in here. Let me close this. And we have companies and success, and all the information that we are looking for are under companies, but they're not really usable, right? So we have a lot of information just under one column, and we want to extend it. So that's the next step that we are going to do. So let's see. I'm gonna just collect this, and I'm gonna just go ahead and create different lists for each title that we have in here. So these are gonna be our actual columns. So I will call them in a different way, IDs, let's say, and it's just a So these are the names that we define for each column in here. Now, what we have to do, we have to show each item inside the like the company in here that we have. First of all, we want to see how many entities do we have in this object. So as I see here, its size is 154 in here, so 154 entities. But we also can say for items in first, let's see how many items do we have. So simply reading the length of the this data frame df dot companies, right? So we want to see how many items do we have. So we have 154 items, and we would like to create a data frame and add these columns that we define in here and all these entities inside this JSON file under them. So the system would be to see the data that we have in here. For example, if I go ahead and type df.companies, okay, and in df.companies, for example, we have 154 items. So if I go ahead and say I want to the first one, and I want to see, I just want to show you how does it work. For example, data in here, it's underline ID. So if I if I execute this code, I'm gonna get this code in here, 58CAFF. 58CAFF is the first item in here. So that's how I want to like actually extract this information. But I have to do it for all these items in here. So for 154 items, that's why I would like to use a for loop. And I can counter, for counter in it's a range. So it's a range of numbers that I'm dealing with right now, and the range is inside the company. So I'm gonna use the same thing in here. What I have to do is I want to extract ID and IDs. Oops, sorry. The exact same thing that we have in here, but instead of 0, because I want to get all this information, I'm gonna use the counter. And that's how we can run this code, and I want to just show you how it's gonna work. Sorry. So we have an error, but I think that's not gonna be, I have to use len in here. That's what's missing. So when you're using the range, it starts from 0 in here because we haven't defined 0, and it adds on the length of the F companies, which is 154. And I think that should work. And now because I'm reading all this information, supposedly it has to show only the last one. So if I go all the way down in here, move all the way down, and this is the last item, and the ID is 6011D10 blah blah, 6011D10 blah blah. So that's just proves that we are on the right way. So I'm gonna go ahead, moving back in here and find the company, for example, and I'm just trying to make it a little bit maybe readable for everyone. So I'm gonna just copy paste this, and here instead of ID I have to use company, and company is this one, actually this name. So company, and I'm gonna copy paste this multiple times and just change it. So created that is here, created AT. The next one, again align this with the other ones. The other one is email, so this is gonna be email. again, email as it is in here, jobs, and yeah, jobs as it is in here, number of jobs. So here we can use number or nr jobs. This is not important, but here what we have in here, it's very important to be the same as what we have on the JSON file. It's also capital jobs. And the last one is updated 80. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy paste. Updated AP 80, sorry, 80, and here updated 80. So let's see if we have any errors or something in here first by running it. So we don't have any errors, but as we saw in here, you're gonna get only the last item. So that's where this list comes in handy. So I'm gonna use, for example, first one IDs. So I'm using this list in here, and I'm gonna append append ID into it. So I'm appending this ID into this list. I'm gonna do the same thing with companies. So companies that append this company. Here. So let's run it and see what's going on. Say update decimal. Yeah, that's for sure. Updated as. Let me see what's the problem. Yeah, that's the problem if you have to do the same naming. So here the name is updated as. This one is also updated at. And since this is the last code that we are running, it's realized that we want to append a string which is updated at in here, which is a date saved as a string, to another string. So what we have to do in here, for example, I'm gonna rename this just by adding one underline here, run it again, add it in here as well, so that can help to solve the issue. So as you last one, so just to see, for example, IDs, just to show you how does it look like right now. So we have a list of IDs in here, as you can see, and that's what actually we were looking for, right? So I'm gonna create a dictionary in here, data, I'm gonna call it data, and this dictionary has names and the data in front of it. For example, I want to first call I want to use the same namings in here. So ID, and I'm gonna add these IDs. So I hope you're getting this, that I'm calling it ID and I'm putting the data in front of it. So data is this list, or let's say this list, but with information, not empty one. So I can show you how the data looks like. So the data looks like this. We have many entities, ID, a list of IDs, company, a list of companies, created at list of dates, email, a list of emails, and what else that we have in here. So the next step is just to define a data frame. I'm gonna call the data frame from list, as I said before, and I'm using pandas data frame, and I'm gonna use this dictionary that I created in here, and then now the df list. I just want to see how does it look like after creation. So as you can see here, we have a data frame in here. We have IDs, company, created as, emails, and all other information that we were looking for as a data frame in here. So if you want to practice more, you can go ahead and lapse this and see all this information, and maybe you want to add one, two, or all of this information to this data frame. So you can, that's what you can practice, and I will put the link to this data frame data set, which is free, so you can download and practice on it. Thank you.